The newspaper headline reads, Punisher, Manhunt Continues. In the windy city streets, the newspaper flutters through the air, but Spider-Man quickly snags it with a flick of his web. Hanging upside down from a street light, hidden by the shadows of the night, he reads the article's words. Utilizing an unknown device to swing between buildings, Spider-Man crumples the newspaper and casually tosses it into a nearby garbage bin before disappearing into the darkness once more. Somewhere else in the city, Frank Castle, now a wanted man, walking through the shadowy streets. He moves quietly, avoiding attention, when he overhears two police officers by their squad car talking about him, completely unaware he's listening. "You saw the thing?" one officer asks his partner. The other scoffs. "About the Punisher? Come on, he's on a beach in Boca or South America or somewhere. He's too smart to stick around New York, never mind Jersey, when there's this much heat on him." The officer shakes his head. "I hope you're wrong. I hope he decides Hoboken is the place to lay low, and we're the ones to find him. I know how that ends." The other officer grunts. "You think you know how that ends? He killed 3 cops, Travis." Frank listens carefully, but he keeps walking, not wanting to risk an encounter. As he moves further away, their voices fade, but he catches them mentioning a woman they'd arrested. "Yeah, well, that woman they arrested says he didn't," one officer says. "That woman they arrested will say anything to protect them." The Punisher tunes out the rest of their conversation and slips into the night. He moves into a nearby parking lot, but something feels off. Frank's instincts kick in as he catches something off in the air. He glances into a car's side mirror and draws his gun, looking over his shoulder. There's an uneasy tension around him, so he ducks under a nearby car to scan the area from below. Satisfied, he rises cautiously, feeling the tension fade, until a voice slices through the silence. "I can stomach a lot, man. The walks in silence bit..." Frank whirls around, gun raised, only to find Spider-Man standing there. Before he can react, Spider-Man shoots a web, pinning Frank's hand and his gun to the side of a van. Spider-Man continues. "The emo goth military chic thing? I can't even get behind the 'no one understands my pain' logline." With that, Spider-Man delivers a swift kick to Frank's face. His face was a bloody mess, his nose likely broken from the powerful kick. He struggled, but Spider-Man's web held his hand and gun firmly against the van. There was no escape. Spider-Man jumped back, landing near him, his tone shifting. "But you used one of my web shooters to get into that building." Spider-Man's eyes narrowed behind his mask as he stared down at Frank. "You used something I created to kill. And let me tell you, Frank, buddy, pal, that kinda ticks me off." With those words, Spider-Man threw another punch, causing more blood to splatter from Frank's face. Spider-Man crawled up onto the van, looking down on Frank. "Now, I personally think you're a lunatic who needs to be locked up until you evolve into something more responsible, like a mollusk." He crawled onto the ceiling of the parking lot, his voice echoing. "I don't know if you killed those people or not. I really don't. You've always given cops a pass before, but as you're a nut job, you may have changed your mind. Heck, one of them may have looked at you funny or called you Moo Moo Bunny Lips. Whatever, your murderous run is over. You are over, Frank. You're done." The Punisher, breathing heavily and still bleeding, grunted. "I'm done when I'm dead, kid." Suddenly, Frank fires his gun, shattering the van's window. He frees himself and immediately shoots at Spider-Man, but Spidey's reflexes are too fast. He dodges the bullets with ease. "See, this is why I don't like you," Spider-Man quips, snatching the gun from Frank's hand with a flick of his web. "You're such a sore loser. You're not the only person to have lost people you love." Before he can finish, Frank swings his fist, trying to land a punch, but he's far too slow. Spider-Man easily dodges, leaping behind him with fluid precision. Before Frank can react, Spider-Man kicks him hard from behind, sending him stumbling forward. Spider-Man continues. "You're just the guy who turned it into an excuse to commit murder." The kick hits Frank with such force that he crashes into a nearby car. blood splattering as he falls to his knees, dazed by the impact. Spider-Man crawls along the van. It's got to stop. It's gone on too long, man! As they come face to face, Frank struggles to his feet. I don't want to hurt you. Spider-Man smirks. That's sweet. That really is, Frankie. But suddenly, Frank lashes out, landing a punch on Spider-Man's face, followed by another, one to the left. However, Spider-Man barely flinches. He's too strong, too resilient. Unfazed, he taunts Frank. But it'll take more than you've got. With agility, he dodges another punch, dancing around Frank. He says, I'm faster than you, stronger than you. His punch sends Frank sprawling to the ground, where he groans in pain. Spider-Man then leans closer. And unlike you, I know when to quit. Frank struggled to fight back against Spider-Man, lying on the ground in agony. Pain radiated through his body. It felt like his ribs were broken from the relentless onslaught of punches and kicks he had taken. Spider-Man executed a perfect backflip above him, sticking to the wall effortlessly. He looked down at Frank. You listening? Good. Here's what we're going to do. The cops will just lock you up at Rikers or wherever, which is kind of like sending you to Club Med. So instead, I propose. But before he could finish, Spider-Man's spider sense tingled, warning him of impending danger. Reacting quickly, he used his webs to pull Frank toward him. What are you doing? Frank hurled a grenade, and it detonated with a loud explosion. The blast sent a wave of heat and shrapnel, burning Spider-Man's back. Wincing in pain, Spider-Man muttered, Ugh, cheater. As he collapsed to the ground, Frank approached him, his expression menacing. I don't want to hurt you. Then, with brutal force, he kicked Spider-Man in the face, adding, But you're not giving me a choice. With that, Frank picked up his gun and climbed into the van. As Spider-Man struggled on the ground, he slowly began to regain consciousness. He looked down at his hand, noting his left glove was missing. Frank had stolen his web shooter again. Realizing what had happened, Spider-Man let out a frustrated, Oh man. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel